Morning, Grandpa Ron here. Today I'm going to be talking about the routine maintenance on my Sprinter RV. Mercedes-Benz has two schedules or types of service. Schedule A is pretty much an oil change. Schedule B includes an oil change and 3 filter changes. This will apply to most V6 diesel engines from Mercedes. So anyway, let's get started. Yeah, these 6-cylinder engines have been around for a long time. They've proven to be very reliable with proper maintenance. However, one of the complaints is the high maintenance cost at the Mercedes-Benz dealers. As a matter of fact, I called up my local dealer here and he quoted me $1,130 to do the Surface B on here. But they were having a 20% off sale, so what a deal, huh? Well, that's still going to be $1,000 out the door, so I think I'm going to just do it myself. So far, my parts have cost about like $250, for the oil and all 3 filters. And I had to buy a couple extra tools because I didn't have them. So anyway, total cost is going to be way under $300. If you do want to do it yourself, you're going to save some time also. My first oil change, I think it took me like 45 minutes to do it. And this Schedule B with the filter and everything is probably going to be, probably a couple hours, maybe up to 3. But if I took it to the dealer, it's going to pretty much shoot your whole day. Another option some people do is they go to Walmart for the oil changes. However, they're not going to have the right oil, and you got to have the right oil. Meets the Mercedes-Benz spec, but you can always bring your own oil and filters and just let them do the changing of the work. I don't know about Schedule B, it's a little more complicated. They probably don't want to do that, but for Schedule A, that works out for a lot of people. So anyway, don't get your hands dirty. I'm used to doing my own car maintenance, so I have to check out a couple of videos. It doesn't look too bad, and certainly don't want to screw it up, but it looks pretty straightforward. So after I do it the first time, I guess it'll be routine. When I got back from our last trip, I installed this Fumoto valve. That'll make my oil changes a little bit easier. It'll also be a little easier for me to draw off the oil sample so I can send it out for testing. Ready to put the Fumo valve on. Okay. Now, let's get the new one on here. Just snug this up with my wrench. Okay, that's pretty good. And this is where the hose goes, and I'll just put that on to drain it. With these Mercedes, it's really important that you get the right oil. You can get either the Mobil 1 ESP 530 or Mobil X1 0 to 30. That'll work in all Sprinters. I also recommend getting man oil filters. If you use a different manufacturer, make sure that it's the cloth-based filter. Mercedes says that paper filters like Fram and STP, they'll break down in the diesel engine over a long time period. So once you have all the correct parts, how hard is it? The oil and filter changes are pretty easy. As a matter of fact, it's a lot easier than in my car. You don't have to lay on your back. You can reach the oil filter cap right down here from the front. And so easy peasy. Okay, let's start with the basic oil change. I did my first one at 17,000 miles and about a year and a half ago. Yeah, it's now been 20,000 miles since my first oil change, so, well, to each his own, but I do pretty much easy highway miles on this RV, so I think it'll last to 20,000. But anyway, I'm going to send an oil sample out to Blackstone, include the results at the end of this video, as long as I get them back in time. While the oil is draining, might as well remove the oil filter. But I think I'll take the air cleaner off to change the fuel filter. Yeah, it's a little tough. Okay, first thing you do is put the tool on it, put a wrench on here, loosen it up. It's a little snug because of the O-ring. Take her off now. Oops, yeah, it's a little drippy. So I'll use some paper towels here to soak up some of that oil. is actually the original O-ring. Last time I didn't change it because it was still in good shape, wasn't cut at all. And this is still the original O-ring over here. So it's in good shape too, but I'm going to change them anyway. The other thing about these filters is make sure you use the right OEM recommended filter. This one's been made for 20,000 miles, but it's still fine. It's made out of cloth instead of paper. The paper ones disintegrate in the diesel oil for a long time. The old one just comes right off. Okay, you got the O-rings on. Just slide your filter right over top. Goes all the way down until it clicks, and we're ready to put it back in. It goes on. Tighten this up to 25 Newton meters or 18 foot-pounds of torque. Oil filter done. All right, putting in 13 quarts. You can change your oil when the engine's cold, but I usually will run the engine to warm it up and then shut it off for half an hour and then do my oil change. With a warm engine and my new valve, it only took about 5 minutes to drain out. And of course, once you're all done with your maintenance, start your engine up and check for leaks. The fuel filter is more involved. I'm going to do it today for the first time, and you can decide for yourself if you want to tackle it or not. See that? There's a turbocharger right in there. Yeah. Let's get this bracket off here. And another screw down in here. Yeah, here's the two bolts. Short one goes on the left. Long one goes in the back, down in there. Then this thing here just kind of lifts off. Okay, next we want to take the connector off. Okay, well, you can lift up on that little tab right there, and you can slide this right out. Next for the fuel clamps. I think that screwdriver's too big. I use this little screwdriver and kind of pry it up there to get it popped up. If you have to replace them, then that's what you use those other screw-on clamps for. There we go. Okay, yeah. A little bit of a struggle, but I think it'll be worth it. Clip you gotta get off is this little plastic one. This is for water drain, I believe. But usually you can't get these off without breaking it, but I'll give it a try. Here's that little clamp you have to get to. I'll loosen this up pretty good. Once you get it loosened up nice, just has to wiggle it a little bit. Okay, I got both clamps on. Now it's time to pop the water thing in. Where the heck does it go? Dang, I got the wrong filter. Here's the old one. This is the one I got, but you can see it doesn't have the connection for the water drain tab. The /16 is not the correct one. You need to get the /15. I'm going to order that part, and when it comes in, I'll put that one in. I got my new filter, so let's try this one out. See what she looks like. All right, this is the one. It's got the little suction connection here, so okay. Let's put her in. Let's tighten up that screw now. Let's put in the clip until it pops, and she's all in. All right, last piece in. All right. fuel filter looks good, no leaks. Let's check out the oil filter. Oil filter is good too. Last thing to change is the cabin air filter. Just push down these tabs and it slides right out. The new one, just slide her in. Just get behind these little tabs here. And there you go. Clean one and the old one. Yeah, it's pretty dirty. Okay, next up, I'm going to check the air filter. Should be good for 60,000 miles, but I might as well check it while I'm at it. This takes a T25 bit. Not too bad. I'll just pull it off a little bit, put it back in, and it'll still be good. Another part of the Schedule B maintenance is checking the DEF. The dealer will probably try to drain it and replace it. You really don't need to do that as long as you're driving 10,000, 12,000 miles a year. You're going to be using it up pretty quick. The shelf life is about 2 years, so otherwise there's no reason to change it. A little bit hard to see. Here's the max line, and there's plenty of radiator fluid down here in the expansion tank, so we're good there. Of course, you can always add in more washer fluid right here if you need to. Brake cylinder, you can see my level's right up to here. That's fine. If your fluid gets down to your minimum, that usually means your brakes are pretty much shot. Brakes on a Sprinter are going to last a long time, to 100,000 miles, depending on how you use them. Last thing to check is this power steering fluid. That cap is really hard to get off. Yeah, I think I got it. Oh, I got her. You can check the level. My engine's cold, and it's right here at the minimum level. So, yeah, wipers are not actually part of your Schedule B maintenance, but it's a good time to check them anyway. So mine are 3 years old, so I got some replacement ones. These are Bosch, pretty much the same as that. New wipers are one of the easier things to replace. Just pull your wiper up. Just push in these two little tabs right here. Kind of pop this out a little bit. That lifts right off. Mine are 3 years old, but they're actually still working pretty well, so I'm not going to change them yet. Only thing left to do is double check the oil level after running the engine. We're on the full, perfect. Time to reset the assist. I don't know about you, but every time I've tried to do this, it's taken me 3 or 4 times. Mercedes has made it really complicated. But anyway, let's give it a shot. Key on. Go up to the service B. I'll hold this button in for 20 seconds. And go over one. Okay, that's for 3 seconds. It's now on service complete. Push it up. Standard oil, up again, service complete. Reset, hold it for 3 seconds. Alright, service confirmed. Well, the maintenance is all done, but I'm still waiting for the oil report. So I contacted Blackstone, and turns out the post office can take over 2 weeks to get the sample to them. Then they need a week to process it. So anyway, I'll have to include that in the next video. All right, for now, let's talk about the money. I mean, that's why I'm getting my hands dirty, right? The annual maintenance costs for Sprinter RVs or vans at the dealer can be well over $1,000 per year, especially here in California. By doing it myself, my annual costs are $161 per year for the last 3 years. So I've done a Schedule A oil change for $94, plus the Schedule B here for $233. And hopefully these are my one-time costs, now that I know which correct parts to get. I'll provide some links in the description below in case you want to check out some of those parts and give it a go yourself. It really wasn't so bad. It just took me a little while the first time through, but now I know how to get all the connectors off and where the bolts are, so it should be a piece of cake next time. Well, as soon as I get that report back on the oil analysis, I'll make a little video on that, and we'll see if you can actually get to 20,000 miles on an oil change or not. And also I'll be working on the video for the maintenance for the coach itself. There's quite a few things to do there, including oil changes on the diesel generator, etc. So anyway, if you'd like to keep in the loop on those, hit the little subscribe button and the notification if you like. But for now, I think I'll go see the granddaughters.